Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I've got another great recipe for you guys. Now, this is something that I'm sure you've seen time and time again in different variations, but we're going to step this up a notch. Today we're going to be doing some stuffed mushrooms, and I figured since I was already doing the mushrooms and I've got some jalapenos on hand, we're also going to be doing some stuffed jalapenos, jalapeno poppers. That's the way you want to look at it. To me, it's not a true jalapeno popper unless you're doing bacon with it, but, you know, I guess to all their own. But anyway, I'm excited for today's recipe. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with some cream cheese. This has been sitting out for a little while. It's not room temperature yet, but it's not as cold as refrigerated, so I think we should be able to work with it. We're going to go into the bowl. Okay, and then to our cream cheese, we're going to be adding some shredded cheese. I've got both triple cheddar and Colby Jack here. And the only reason I've got both is because I honestly couldn't decide which one I thought would go better, so both. Probably about a half cup of each there. We're just eyeballing it. I'm going with some minced garlic. Don't need a whole lot. We've got our spicy brown mustard. Again, don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. Maybe a half a teaspoon, maybe. Some of our Old Yeller barbecue sauce. Now, I know that sounds like it's just all kinds of different flavors, but I've got a certain flavor profile in mind. So this is going to go great. And we've already got our spicy brown mustard, so we're using our mustard-based Old Yeller just to kind of bring in some of those other flavors that I know our sauce can create. So we're going to add this right on top. I added a couple of tablespoons of that barbecue sauce. Now I'm going to season it a little bit. I don't need a whole lot. We've already added a lot of flavors. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to add some onion powder. I want some flavors of onion in here without having the raw stuff. A little bit of crushed red pepper. Again, I don't really need a whole lot. Just want to amp up the heat just a touch. Probably good. And we're going to mix this all up and see where we stand. Alright, I'm going to get a little taste and just kind of see where that flavor is standing and kind of adjust it as I see fit if I think it needs it. Okay, so I feel like it needs a little bit of sweet, and I feel like it also needs just some smokiness. So I'm going to go in with our Maddog's barbecue rub. This is going to provide that smokiness, just touch, and then it's also going to give just a little bit of sweetness, but I know I won't go overboard using this. So let's mix that up and see if that kind of nails. We're close. We're real close to what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, that is perfect. That's exactly what I was wanting to look for. I just needed a balanced flavor. That is it. Okay, so let's get on to our next step, which is preparing our mushrooms and jalapenos. Okay, we've got our mushrooms, so we're just going to go through and pull the stem out, and we're going to be using the tops. Just like this. So I'm going to go through and do that to all of them. Alright. Alright, the stems can be used for things like salad. You can chop them up and use them on that. As for these, I'm about to get these into a strainer and we're going to give these all a good wash. So I will be back in just a minute. Okay, so now I've got these all washed up. They are ready to go. We're going to go ahead and get ready to start stuffing these. And I'm actually going to be doing two different types of filling. I'm going to be doing the filling that I just now made. And then I'm also just for the sake of trying it and because I have it on hand, I'm going to try our pimento cheese in them. Now, if you haven't seen our pimento cheese video, go check that out. I just now made a fresh batch of pimento cheese a day or two ago for Chase for the Masters. And so I have some pimento cheese on hand that I think would go awesome with these. So we're going to try some with that as well. And then I also need to prepare my jalapenos, but I'm going to get these stuffed and then move off my cutting board, and then we'll go in with the jalapenos. A little tip, if you didn't know, if you need to use and like scoop or spoon something that's sticky, such as like this filling or even like honey, you can take your spoon and just give it a quick little spritz of like cooking spray, and it'll allow that filling just to come right out of your spoon without any issue, just like that. I'm just gonna spoon that right on top, and I'm gonna have to eyeball the amount because I have all different size mushrooms, but I do want them kind of overflowing a little bit. I want these to have a good bite of the filling in each one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the filling part off camera because it's going to take a while and it's kind of monotonous, but you get the idea. And I'm going to do about half and half between the filling I made today and the pimento cheese. So I will see you back in a few minutes. All right, I've got all of those stuffed. I've got a container that I'm going to set these in so I can clear off my cutting board. It didn't take long at all to stuff all of those, and luckily I can easily tell which are which. I'm going to just set these to the side. We're just going to slice all the stems and tops off of these. Definitely want to either wear gloves with this or wash your hands very, very well and still be cautious about touching your face afterwards. It will make for a very bad day. All right. Slice them long ways right down the center. I love the smell of jalapeno. Oh my gosh. Which I love jalapeno everything. Like the jalapeno kettle cooked potato chips are some of my absolute favorite. I mean, just anything jalapeno. All right. And then we're going to core these. Now you can take a spoon and scrape them, which is probably what I'm going to do. Or you can just use your finger as long as you got gloves on. If you do not have gloves, do not use your fingers. Easiest way though is to take your spoon and just dig it in the center and watch your eyeballs, because if the juice splashes up onto you, that'll make for a bad day also. You do not want to get that in your eye. All right, we've got all of the jalapenos ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did with the mushrooms. We're just going to go through and put some of our filling right in here. And these I am going to level off a little bit more. And just like that. And I'm going to go through and do the same thing with the mixture we just made and our pimento cheese. And I will be right back. All right, everything is all ready to go out of the Traeger. So we're going to go ahead and get these all set up. I've got the Traeger running at 325, and I will see you guys out there. All right, guys, we are out of the Traeger. I'm going to go ahead and get all of our mushrooms loaded up onto our rack here. All right, y'all, so we are back. I have got all of these off of the Traeger, and I'm shocked at how different these were. I was kind of afraid that I wasn't going to be able to tell which were which, so I was trying to memorize where I'd placed them on the Traeger, but it is very clear which are which. So here on this side, I have the mixture that I made today. Bring this in a little closer. So as you guys can see, this stayed very puffy. It held its shape and it browned with like a uniform brownness. It kind of reminds me of how like American cheese toast on cheese toast and kind of creates like that pocket. That's kind of what's happened here. So it's very brown and uniform and it stayed puffy. Now on the pimento cheese side, these melted down a lot. So they are very flat and didn't really hold any kind of shape, but they still look delicious. They have brown spots, but they're not uniformly brown. Honestly, from appearance wise, I think the pimento cheese is more appealing looking, but I'm sure that they both are going to taste amazing. So let's get in here and give them a try. All right, so we're going to start with the mushrooms. The first one I'm going to try is the mixture that I made today. So these smell amazing. Let's see here. Oh, oh, that's good. That is delicious, and that goes so well with the mushroom flavor. That mushroom's cooked perfectly. You can see there the bite holds together. So the mushroom is cooked all the way through, but it's not mushy. It's not soggy. You know, sometimes mushrooms can get soggy. And then you do have the filling, which almost took on like a, I don't know how to describe it without it sounding nasty, but almost like a cheesecake texture. Like it's very stiff and like custardy. So it like cooked in place. No cheese pool or anything like that. Those flavors are killer though. That is so good. All right, now let's go in with the mushroom that I did the pimento cheese on. So, smells are very different. Almost, this one almost has less scent to it. All right, let's give it a go. Okay. Wow. That is drastically different. That's interesting. I thought that the fillings were going to be close enough that they were just going to give two slight variations. That is drastically different. It's drastically different in texture and flavor. So with that one, the mushroom was majority of the flavor. The pimento cheese was just kind of a hint. It wasn't like a huge flavor. It was a little more cheesy because I think the pimento cheese has more cheese in it than the mixture I made today. So it was a little more cheesy, but the mushroom was the main flavor. So if you want mainly mushroom flavor with just like a little hint of something, that's the way to go. But with the first one, the one with the mixture I made today, like that is the star of the show. It's the flavor of that filling. And they both go very, very well. I honestly think that I prefer the first one. The pimento cheese is very, very good. But I liked that the mushroom flavor worked with the filling on the first one, and with the second one, the mushroom flavor overpowered the pimento cheese. So, okay, interesting, very interesting. So now we're going to try the jalapeno. All right, we're going in with the mixture made today. Very reminiscent of a jalapeno popper. That mustard kind of brings in an extra element with that jalapeno flavor. It works really well together. Okay, good. That's very good. And those jalapenos are spicy. All right, so now we're going to go in and give this pimento cheese stuffed jalapeno. That is so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. Okay. All right, so let me set this to the side. So when it came to the mushroom, I preferred the filling that I made today. When it came to the jalapeno, I preferred the pimento cheese. The pimento cheese has jalapeno in it, so I feel like that flavor is already present and it works very, very well together. I think that the first filling on the jalapeno worked, but it just wasn't as good as the pimento cheese. So that's interesting. The two fillings kind of flip-flopped. One worked better with the mushroom and one worked better with the jalapeno, but all around, all four were very, very good. So I got me a nice little treat there, and you guys have something to go off of. Now next time you have a party or a game day or anything that you need to make some little appetizers for, now you have these stuffed mushrooms that you can go to. It's delicious. Now, as far as the jalapenos go, I really enjoyed the one with the pimento cheese, but I'm going to be honest, the flavor of bacon is what I have associated with like jalapeno poppers, and I feel like that's still superior because bacon makes everything better. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate you watching today's video. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. We would love to have you join our family here on YouTube, and check out our website if you have a chance. It's maddogsbarbecueco.com, and we will see you guys in the next